Hey, Pearl, how are you today? Hey, and here's Minnie. Look at the pretty flowers I just planted. What? Oh, you're right. I almost forgot. Another day of soul care.
Hey, everybody, it's James. How are you? Another day of soul care. And that was me in my garden. Well, that wasn't me in my garden. That was, but I'm going to reshoot that because, um, yes, we got Minnie is in over daycare. And boy, if I knew that's how easy it was, but it's not. It's a full time job with those doggies, with the dog, the shepherd. Pearl's doing really well. And my weekends are spent at dog parks and walking and playing toys. And um, it's pretty in full time, which is great because so much love is given. So, how's your weekend, everybody? Hi, Joanne, Jordan. How are you? Michelle, Sherry Edwards, Val. Nice to see you, Val. Elise, Vicky, Net. How are you? I'm gonna see. I remember people by their names. Even when I meet people, I say, "Oh, what's your name?" Oh, I can remember you. Donna Rocky, Teresa, Sherry Edwards, Melissa. Very good, Shauna. I've been spending my time at the dog parks, meeting a lot of interesting people. It's very interesting, dog owners. Some very interesting, some very eccentric. So it's very interesting. One man was fascinating. He works for a financial company, and he was there with his son, and his son was taking care of the dog. And he was traveling all over the world about doing finances. But as I'm sitting there talking to him, he was, he was talking about philosophy, and he was talking about the way of the world, and he didn't know what I did, and I was just sharing time with him, and it was lovely. It was just lovely. You meet all different people. Hi, Stacy. Nice to have you, Susie Wright. Good to see you again. Leslie Ball. So a quick survey here. You think I should do another one of these like on Thursdays? Should I do another soul care on Thursdays? I've had a lot of people say they on my TikTok page and emailing. They say they'd like another day of it. So you guys tell me if that's a good thing or not, because I'll make time for it if you think it's worth it. I mean, yeah, maybe worth it, but feasible for everybody. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I guess it's a yes. I knew it would be a yes. It must be psychic. Hi there. How are you, Eva? Hello, Lori Smith. Good to see you. The doggies are doing well. The iron doggies. Teresa Cohen. Hi. Lisa. Hello. I'm going to say hello to everybody. Depends on how you feel on your energy level. Thanks, Val. This is true. God knows by Thursday what it'll be like. Yes, please. Okay. I'm in the middle right now of developing a medium meditation course, a really good, thorough meditation course. And also I'm going to do in the middle of developing a overall course called All In. And it takes a little bit of all the different types of courses that I thought people really loved, like the transformation, 20-day transformation course and so forth, and a day in the spirit world, and all different types of pieces I've taken from different courses, put them all together, and it's called All In, and 10-week course. And it's really cool. So working on that and working on the meditation. The meditation, we're to a studio and doing a whole day of meditations. Can you imagine at the end of that day what I'll be like? And even the soundboard people, they're going to be like. But it's fun. I love doing that. A lot of people always ask me, do you have a meditation on tape? And I have some of them in the school, but many of them I do at my group workshops. I do them spontaneously. I just do it at the moment because I think it works a lot with the energy of the group. That's why I do that. Even very interesting enough, when I do a workshop, which just finished a lovely one with Lynn Probert from England. I have written down an outline of exactly what I want to cover, especially what the subject matter is. But I do find after many years of doing the workshops that people that when I get there, the energy is very different, and then there'll be certain needs that are required than other things. So it changes more than I do it at the spot. So I would say that I want to do a lot more workshops next year too. I've been wanting to know already in Florida. April, I'll be in Florida in Fort Lauderdale, and I'll be doing a workshop there. I know that so far. And next October, a year from now, I'm going to be doing a tour with Gordon Smith from Scotland, all through England and Scotland and Ireland. And yeah, so we'll have a good time with that. If anyone's, I know. Lori Smith, do you have a regular day for your card reading? So you do? I miss it. Okay, so Lori, thanks, Lori, for asking. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a overall card readings. I thought about this morning. I'm not going to do the week of, because it gets just too, it doesn't make sense, because the type of cards that I have, Power of Love and Talking to Heaven and the soul cards. You can use them anytime. So I want on to do that. So you will see more card readings, general card readings when I pull a card and get inspired at that time. So you'll be seeing a lot more of those coming up. I just finished 4 different videos. The one I just finished this morning is really an interesting one. It's going to be, of course, on TikTok and YouTube. It's on perception. It's really, really interesting. So I just finished that, and I think you'll enjoy that. That'll be up on. So join TikTok if you haven't. Before I answer some questions, when I was in Sedona, I mentioned this last week, but I did see a movie which was very moving, and it was done by a student of mine, and I was very, very impressed with this movie, and it's called Love Heals. I think you should go look for loveheals.com. Check it out. It was Dana and her partner went. It was amazing. Dana was in a lot of pain in her back, couldn't figure it out. Even had spinal surgery, which got messed up. They found out through many different processes and going to specialists that it was the trauma. It was based on trauma, emotional trauma that she went through when she was younger, abuse and so forth, sexual trauma, and that stayed in the physical body because, of course, is the last place things will end up. And she went through a series of these retreats in Sedona, and there's a lovely center there in Morocco, I think it is. I forget the name of that, but it was a mixture of qigong, tapping work, and working on emotional selves. And they had 18 people in the movie. They had 18 people take this retreat, and these people had severe pain from one thing or another. One has a heart problem, one had a brain problem, a lot of physical, like muscle problems, and it really helped them. So it's a great journey. Love Heals, great movie, and they didn't even tell me they did this, but I was so moved by it that I want to push that movie for them. Okay, that's that. Okay. The other thing I want to say to you guys is this Friday is my VIP Evening of Spirit Messages. And I say that to you because when I was in Sedona the other week, I would, you don't really hear a lot of feedback over these many years, but now I'm getting a lot of feedback from people. And when I was in Sedona, it was really a lot of people thanking me for doing the work I've been doing for 40 years and opening up the door for a lot of people and doing it with integrity, which I really felt honored because that's what I do, things with integrity. Otherwise, you shouldn't do it. And I'm glad I made an impact on these people and the type of work that they have. And I'm going to be doing a workshop in Sedona, Arizona, on various higher advanced kind of techniques of working with sound and working with the spirit world in different ways. So that'll be coming up too. Figure that out right now in March. And it was really nice. But a lot of people did also come up to me from my students, from some of you guys, and also just general public who went to these VIP events, these readings I do online. And 4 people said, it changed my life. I just want to tell you. One was not even getting a message directly. She was in the group in the room, and she said that affected me so much. I changed my life. I changed my job. I left and I did what I want to love. And she goes, a message from that girl's father really helped me too. And that's what it's about. It's about everybody gets something from that. One message moves many. So really, it's a great experience. If you haven't had it, it's Friday night. It's 11:18, and it's going to be good. I'm going to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving holiday season, having lost a lot of people, and you think about them, and I'll give you some different things to talk about and do for them. So that's this Friday. So please sign up now if you could. It's limited to 100 people. That's all I do. So it's a good night. And then we have questions here. So I'll answer some questions too. A lot to do today. Okay. You'll be there Friday. Shelly, thanks, Shelly. But you'll be there Friday. Looking forward to it. It's going to be great, Shelly. I have a feeling this Friday's going to be very strong because I haven't done some readings in a long time. Okay, Bradika, James, I'm from India. Please keep a day for readings. Yes, Friday. So you'll have to sign up for Friday, sweetheart. Okay. Hi from Vermont. Hello. If you have a question, we'll put it up there. So if you have any questions, that's great. Also, what else is it? There was that. Another thing I want to talk about a little bit. Some people came up to me all over the years, really, and they ask about their children that are very spiritual, very psychic. My kids see spirit. Is it something they should be afraid of? Is it possible? I wrote a book about this because there were so many parents coming up to me over the years, and it's called Looking Beyond. And that is a very, very good book. It's a basic book, not very big, but it gives parents a great way, non-confrontational way, to advise their children, to really encourage them, to open them up, to educate them to what's around them, the things that they see, the awareness level. I go a little bit into the soul stuff, but it's very much on a children's level, but it's also teen. It really was written for teenagers. It's a teenager book, but children read it, parents read it and love it. It's basic stuff that's said to that audience. But it's called Looking Beyond. So I wonder, a lot of people wonder about their own kids that are coming in now are very involved. Many are involved now. Uh, so the ones in their 20s right now and 30s, a little difficult. But the ones coming in now are here very, very bright, bright, bright. So I just want to share with them. So if you have a question, Terry, just go to vanprog.com and you'll see there for Friday. Just set up reading there. Just go. It'll be a VIP this Friday night. Evenings hear messages, and that's what I do. I just do group messages. So that's what you're looking for. If you want something personal, one-on-one, there are practitioners on my vanprog.com, my site, that I've handpicked, and you can get a scheduled reading with them. But the one I do is on Friday night, and that's for 100 people. But I do many, many of the readings, and you'll like that too. It's up to you. Okay. Nadine, I'm looking forward to Friday. This VIP evening is very beautiful. Helped me a lot too. Thank you. Thanks, Nadine. And thank you for the flowers again. No, I don't want you spending more money on me. Thank you. But thanks for, yes, look forward to working with you on Friday. Good. Okay. Rosie, from Brisbane. Hello. All the way from Brisbane. How are you? Okay. Rosie, we're going fast here. Char Downey Jr. Oh, yes. You look like someone yourself. You could tell the kids coming in now have been here before. Yeah, very old souls, wise old souls. Some of the things that they say are astounding for their age. Yeah, and it's also, Shar, that we got to consider. Someone asked me this morning on my TikTok, and I did a video about that there are many galaxies, many places, not just the Earth and another world. There are all many planets and star systems which work in a very different way than the Earth system. So there are other star systems. There are millions of star systems. So these beings are from other spaces and places, pretty advanced, and come to the Earth to help with the illusions that people live here. This morning I actually listened to a Leslie Flint. I referred to him before. Leslie Flint was a physical medium. One less great physical mediums that lived. He died in the late 80s. I was sat with Leslie 4 times, and Leslie's an independent voice medium where the energy, they form a voice box from the ectoplasm that comes out of his ear and his nasal passages, and it forms an artificial voice box, a larynx, and the spirit people speak through that. And this morning, I went to that site, leslieflint.com, and I listened to Thomas Jefferson. So Thomas Jefferson was talking about politics, and this was recorded in the 1960s, so 1960, by a research team. They recorded over about 200 recordings of different people, and I didn't even know this Thomas Jefferson existed. But Thomas Jefferson, and it was so interesting listening to his voice and how politics has changed. And he said, so interesting. He said, the world of the politics is just power, but it's also in our day there was a vision to make things in a better way, because in your world, this is the 1960s. He said, 1960 it was. He said, it is an illusion, and politics has become power, and people. It's now based on fear. He said, it's based on fear. Now everybody's afraid. That was in 1960. So now here we are, right? So look at how many years, 60 years later. So pretty interesting. So if you want to listen to that, it's leslieflint.com, and you'll have, there are many tapes from this research husband and wife team, from everyone, Queen Victoria, Oscar Wilde, Rudolph Valentino. So you can, I heard my mother's voice very clearly. My mother came through and talked to me. It was much her. So that's very interesting if you're interested in that. Okay, another question. Hi, Val. James, not a question, but just before my mother passed, we discussed life after death and the spirit. I'm hoping this helped her. Yes, indeed, Val. Very good. Excellent. I can tell you that for sure it helped her, because many readings I've done and demonstrations, and I've had spirits come through and thank their loved one, their daughter or their son, their partner, for talking to them about life after death, the possibility of life after death. Just to have that conversation, open that part of them up. 2 things I'm going to say to you. One was, my former mother-in-law was very Catholic, very, very Catholic, and she didn't really believe what I did per se, but she read all my books. She loved to read, so she read all my books. And then it was back September. Gosh, what year was that? A long time ago now, or 10 years ago, I think. And she sent me a birthday card. My birthday's August. She sent me a card that year, and she said, and I wrote. I was at that time it was unfinished business, and then there was a story about a son who was gay and how he got AIDS and how he his mother was against him because of AIDS, being a gay and the whole thing, and she didn't speak to him, and he died of AIDS, and she was so upset that she tried helping and support groups and really was so full of guilt. Okay, so in September, I received a birthday card from my mother-in-law, a very straight-laced Catholic, and she said in the card, she said, "James, I want to thank you very much for writing this book. I have to rethink all the concepts I've had before. Happy birthday." She died a month later. Okay. And about 3 months later, I was on the Ouija board with her son and some friends, and she came through. I think she came through, and she said, "James, I want to thank you for opening up my mind. That was really important because if I hadn't had that experience, I wouldn't be where I am right now." Right? So she would probably have ended up in a Catholic heaven, like her belief system was that just that. But I gave her mind the possibility that there's more to it than just that. We open up that box. It's limitless. God is limitless. And that helped her. So, yes, Val, exactly right. We help those people to pass over. It's just amazing that there is help us to come in from their side. We should help people go out. I think it's a great job. End of life doulas, a great, great job to help people. I've helped many people pass. It's such an honor to do that, and nothing to be afraid of. There is no pain at all in death. It's to look forward to. It's a reunion. It's a party. It's fun. It's happiness. If you lived a good life, you'll be very happy. You'll get rewards. I'll tell you that, right? Very, very true. My good friend Mavis Patella passed away. She was a medium from England that I knew very well. And one of the first things she said when she came back to me, she said, "Oh, James," and she was a medium for many, many years. And I said, "Mavis, what was it like?" And you can tell that in the spirit world, when they communicate, they really have to concentrate and slow down the vibration. Thomas Jefferson talks about that too, by the way. And she said, "Well," and all she could get through simple words. And she said, it's because it's amazing. It's beyond the beyond," is what she said. And that said it all. So it's so vast, so vast. But it's important that your belief system, that you're open-minded, and anything is possible. But let love guide you. Okay, another question. Robin, hi Robin, hi James. Can you explain exit points, and do we have more than one? That's a great question, Robin. I believe, and it can be totally off, but I believe we do have exit points, or I believe we have destiny points in life, which is before we come back into this incarnation, we sit with our guides and teachers and really pre-plan our life. We pre-plan certain destiny points in that you'll meet a certain person that you have to be karmically connected, obligation to that person, and you're going to probably get married and have a relationship, or you can you come back together, just have children, and maybe that's all, and then you split up, but kids are still, you just came together for those kids to be there. Destiny points for positions, a job, career, many of those destiny points. So my two relationships, I was married. I had to get married. This girl came to I was in college, and at a new college. I was 19 or 20, and I was a stage hand in the theater department. And this girl came out on the stage I'd never seen before, and I looked at her, and I knew I was going to marry her one day. I said, "Oh, I'm going to marry that girl one day. I'm going to marry her." I just knew it. Just knew it before anything psychic. Sure enough, 30 or 25 years later, I married her. Well, we do have that. Now, exit points. Yeah, I do believe there are exit points. I do believe there are exit points. I do, but I don't know enough about it. But I do believe there are certain exit points a soul goes through. You know, my theory, and I could be totally off on this, but my theory on it, because I don't know enough about it, but my theory may be I think that other lifetimes we might have passed at a certain age, like 26 or at 35 or at 50. And I think in this lifetime, your soul has some kind of a memory. And at that time of age, something might happen or something's going on. Just a theory I have, but it's a good question. Thank you. Martha may have had twice Oh, yeah. There you go. Martha may have had twice suddenly young, dearest souls passing this lifetime. Both crossed over into the heavenly light and was grief first because they were young and really precious. Have my white feathers and other natural signs. Martine, when young souls pass, when babies pass over, or young toddlers or young kids, or we have to step out of the box. And because we live in this illusionary world, control world, we can't look at things that way. We have to look at life and death as a soul's journey, as a soul's. This is our schoolroom. And we come back here to take classes. And those classes could be anything from a class of forgiveness, compassion, love of self, peace, all different types of classes. And when that soul has learned the lessons or came back here to learn, they graduate, they go home, they don't stay here. So there might be a soul that all it needs is to go through the birth experience and then it goes home. And it might have that obligation to those natural parents. So maybe in another previous life, they left early. That still had to go through what that experience was like. So it's just learning back and forth. So I do believe that we have to look at those exits, those leaving this physical meat suit, as a that's life. It's a part of our life. It's a transformation. We make such a big deal of death in this world, and we should not. It is a natural process, just like we have four seasons. That's who we are. But as my daughter Maisie taught me, my four-legged daughter, we have to live. The secret is to live in the moment, to live at that exact moment, because the past has already happened. The past is gone, right? Nothing we do about that. The future is yet to be. So why worry? Why use that energy and make it worry? It's not using it creatively. So live in the moment. Do the best you can at this particular moment. Stay away from judgment. Why would you judge? You don't know a person, their background, perhaps. Maybe you don't know the situation. You don't know. It's hard to judge. The other day I drove to Los Angeles, and that's a big feat in itself, by the way. So it took me 3 hours, and there was one place we were stuck on the freeway for 40 minutes. Anyway, I'm driving to San Diego. I'm doing speed limit 60 miles per hour. I'm being very cautious. I'm a very good driver. And all of a sudden, this girl comes from in this car, goes right around me, and she gives me the finger right up her window. I'm like, what? I didn't do anything. I was fine. So I caught up to her. Of course I did. I caught up to her, and I honked the horn, and she looked over, and I went, "Mwah, hi, send her love." You got to do. You got to turn negative to positive, because you don't know why she would have done that. You don't know why people do certain things. I always, when I meet people, I always try to be positive and say, "How was your day today?" Even before, like, if a server at a restaurant, can I help you? Would you like to? No, how was your day today? So it works like that. Okay, another question. Here we go. Chris, hi, Chris. Do pets with crossover visit us like our loved ones do all the time? All the time. My dog Maisie came all the time. He's come more often, or I was aware of her more often when she first passed over the first 3 or 4 months. Not as much now. I know she's around, but not as much now. I don't feel her as much now, because also my attention is to Pearl, my other doggie, my new doggie. This is Pearl. That's Pearl. Like she's dressed up for Halloween. So yeah, but they do visit us, and many times I've brought many animals through, and they talk about their one dog. I remember years ago, a doggy came through and said it was very angry or upset because the new puppy was using its old dog bowl. So that was interesting. But they're very aware. Medium Jane Flowers. Hi, Medium Jane Flowers. Do you think people are born a medium, or do they need to get training to become medium? Well, Medium Jane Flowers. Interesting that you put your name Medium in front of your name. I don't know why you do that, but no one ever stops being learning. So I think that you are born with the certain people. Everyone's born with intuition. So everyone's born with psychic ability, right? Everyone's intuitive. And mediumship is it's a strong foundation of psychic ability, but then able to reach your, if you will, your power, your energy, and I call it your soul self, getting into that vibration, that higher level of being. And in that higher level of being, kind of relax your mind in a certain way that you open it up for spirit to come in and to impress you. And the more developed you are, the more expanded you are, the easier it is for you to be with them, and the better the quality of the mediumship. So a medium is someone it's a life journey. it is really a service of life. It's a dedication of life for me. That's the way I am. It has to be that way. If someone's going to be a medium, I think it should be a dedication for their life. Always learning, always growing, always learning, because we have people's lives that we're touching. We're changing lives. We could kill or we could create, right? And I see too many people out there who think they're take one class, oh, they're a medium suddenly, and they really do not have that, And then I try to tell them that you know if you do that, you're not developed enough, and you got to do the half baked reading. You can hurt that person and all those in the spirit world who are trying to get through. And when you pass over to the side of life, you look at all those people come to greet you, and you see what you did. So it's a very sensitive art, and you never should ever stop developing, always, and in different ways, and stretching the mind. So I think that if you are to have that mediumistic, you can develop it, but it should be always developed. It's never an end to developing as a medium. Okay. Heidi, hi Heidi. Hi James. I always look forward to Mondays live. Good. So a Thursday one would be amazing too. Okay, I'll look into that for sure. My mom passed away about 2 years ago, and it was her birthday last week. Good. I used my pendulum and board to do my usual dream work, but I believe that she came through at one point. Is that possible for loved ones to come through that way? It is, Heidi. It is possible for it to come through that way. I would rely more on doing it myself, and sitting in the quiet and have her come behind me or close to me, and relaxing your mind in such a point that you surrender, that she's able to fill that space with her thoughts. Because the other, when usually in pendulum, and they can come through that way, don't get me wrong, they can come through with that Ouija board and a pendulum, but in just beginning like that, I'd be very leery, because the conscious mind, the left brain, can get in the way and it can be wishful thinking. So just be careful of that. I think you do much better feeling her sitting in the quiet and having her love come close to you, and feeling her fill your heart, and listen to the simple messages that she'll have to say. And that's really it. Don't make it more than it is. It's a very simple thing. Okay. Good luck, sweetheart. Hi, Eva. Any tour to Sweden in the future? Might, maybe, nothing yet, but I'm always open. So possibly. Thank you. I love Sweden. Okay. Today's Claude Monet's birthday. Oh, is it really? Do you ever hear from him? What does he think about all of the love that works, that his work receives? Oh, Laura. Oh, Laura. You're so funny. Claude Monet has not come through to me, but maybe he has inspired me, because I have a Claude Monet garden in my backyard. I call it the Monet's garden, and he's my favorite impressionist. So I'm sure he's very pleased that he left this earth space in a more beautiful way, right? We talked about that before, beautiful way, because art inspires people. Art opens people's, it's that creative energy. And it's reason using that creative energy to inspire others, right? And we all have that, whether it's through artwork or books, music, singing, dancing, fashion. Everything has that possibility until it gets spoiled, and that's the test. There's a test of that one. If it comes about money and greed, and just like Thomas Jefferson was saying this morning, it's pure until then the ego or the money gets there. The same thing. Anything like that. Any career. Everything is a creative flow of energy, and it's how you use that energy. As we're here right now, you're creating your future right now. As you sit here, you're a sum total of everything you thought in the past. Because as you're sitting here, you're creating. Because we are God. God constantly creates. So right now, even unconsciously, you're creating. So that's why I always find that I like to have around me in my room that I'm in my office here, I have all positive things. I have lovely books. I have lovely statues. I have lovely prints. I have different things I worked on, and it just makes me feel good when I look at it. And I think that's good. That keeps your mind in that higher level. That's what I do. But yeah, we're always creating, and having books also makes a more creative mind happens. So good question. Okay, next. Melissa, hi, Melissa. I was in church I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I was in church when I saw some of my friend's aura. However, when he moved, a foggy circle emerged from the aura, his aura, and followed him. Do you know what that was? Was just things. Well, Melissa, it's hard to say, because it could be electrical and magnetic field around the person, or it could be the auric field. So it's hard to say. I have to say myself, but it could be one of those two things. I used to see when I was a little boy, I used to sit in a choir loft with my mother, and I used to watch The lady's name was Mickey. She was an organist, Mickey, and I always be fascinated how she used a keyboard and the pedals, and I always find that fascinating. And every once in a while, I look onto the stage, the altar, and I used to see auras and the priests and the altar boys. I would see that. I know what it was, but that's what it was. Anyway, I told my mother I love the organ, and she bought me a little portable organ thing. And then, funny enough, what do you this one? This is a good story. Um, Later on, when CBS did my bio miniseries, Talking to Heaven, Ted Danson played me because we look so much alike. There's a scene in the movie that the director, Steve Gyllenhaal, he said, "James, can we use you?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "I would like you to sit the organ up front." And as Mary Steenburgen walks down the aisle, I'm playing the organ. And I thought, wow, my mother was involved in this one because what are the odds of that happening? That she was I'm actually sitting in the organ in a church in that movie. And it was just so weird. And it was just one of those aha moments because to make that happen, again, the strings that they pull in that world, the intelligence of that world, it's just so humbling. Just so humbling. And it just stretches just our minds to be in that level. Gosh, I think that's what life's about. It's just opening up and expanding and meeting a lot of people with different mindsets and, just listening to them and learning from them. So, anyway, that's my favorite. It's a good story. Shannon, hi Shannon. I helped my dad pass. Good for you. I told him to look for his mom. Very good. That's what you do. Tell him to look for people that have passed over. And he reached his arm out for her and passed very peacefully. Beautiful, Shannon, because sometimes at time of death, they're a little frantic. They're not sure, fearful. And I often will say that to people, say, look for, and I'll mention someone who passed over previously, because they're usually right. They're all there waiting for them to receive them. But in that slight mindset, it's kind of a mind bend. You got to open up to that possibility, and that helps. So it does help. It's a good thing to do. Even if you talk to loved ones who are going to pass or on a deathbed, we're going to call it that, or getting ready to pass, if you sit with them at the bedside maybe a week before and talk about old days, old times, old memories that they had, old when they were younger, and who was a good friends in high school, or who they date, or what did they like to do when they were younger, it really helps to start preparing them to get used to that new way of living. So good work. Okay. Hi, Tammy Lynn. Hi, James. I dreamed 2 weeks ago I was on the other side, but I didn't want to be there. I didn't see loved ones. What does that mean? I don't know, Tammy. I don't know what that means. There are different types of dreams or different types of levels of consciousness. So I don't know what level you're on. I don't know why you didn't want to be there. So there's probably more to the story than that. But we're always protected. We're not. There's nothing. I don't believe in evil. I really don't. I think that's all human stuff, and fear is human. I think they're absence of love, but I think if you're a pretty nice, decent person, you have nothing to worry about. So let's fear go. Okay. Joanne, if you haven't lived the best life, is it too late to make amends? No, it's never too late to make amends. So again, today you can change. So, and you become a better person. Yes, what you create is what you do is you create this earth here, right? This world here that you're living in. If you do good things, you create a good space. So I say it's like a bank account. The more good you do, the better the place you'll end up. So, for instance, if you haven't forgiven a family member or a friend, forgive them. You might not know why they did something. They don't take things so personally because it's probably not about you, right? So we really need to be more high-minded, yeah, to because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, and never do something with expectations because you won't get there. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. But yes, today is like they say, today's the first day of your life. Do it today. It'll change the past and change the future. Good question. Hi, Susan. Can you stay in the spirit world? Do you have to reincarnate? Susan, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to come back here. You don't have to go to other star systems. You don't have to do anything at all. It's such a human question, though, Susan, because it's so limiting. Humans think this is it. There's so much more to understand. It's such a vastness and discovery all over the place. You might be very, very curious to see what it's like to live in a xenon. I don't know what that is, but there are many different places you want to explore. So you have a right to just go on journeys anywhere you want to go. And I do believe really in quantum physics. I do get a sense that there's no time. Time is only relative to this three-dimensional vibration. So you can do the past, present, future all one. So you can go back to your past, or you can go to the future. You have the choice. No one forces you, so you have the choice. Hi, Vicky. Good to see you. Jed met about 10 years ago. I'm sorry about that. I have dreams lately every single night with him. Oh, good. He wants to get through to you. All of a sudden, what could be the meaning? I don't know, sweetheart. Vicky, you should probably get a dream journal or message journal from him. And maybe he's learned how to do the technique of getting into your dream state. And maybe you, on the unconscious level, have figured a way to remember those dreams into the conscious. So maybe you both kind of bridge that together. And that's what's happening. So when you're with him, ask him different questions, like what's he doing on the side? Well, ask him, why are you guys together? Use that time. It's good. Keep a journal too. Very good, Becky. Maria Simmons, if someone you feel has a crossed over, can we help assist them to cross over? I don't understand what that means, Maria. If someone you feel has a crossed over, I don't know what that means. Everybody crosses over. This is the only place the earthbound is. We're the earthbound ones. We are here, earthbound. No one who leaves a body will stay put. They will go into the other realm and in through the curtain. It's not up there. It's right next to them. So the only thing is their mindset might change, but they don't get stuck. I don't believe in that. I believe it's a mindset. Just love and sending them love. But if you send them worry and fear, that's not good. That holds them back. That holds them in a weird space. So send them love. They'll be fine. And there are others in the spirit world who come to get them and take them over too, especially those who don't have a belief system. So that might be your own stuff going on, Maria, but I'm sure they're fine. Okay. Shannon. Hi, Shannon. I am very empathetic. Yes, you are. So much that I take on other. Okay, it's a good one. A very good question, Shannon. I am very empathetic. So much that I take on other emotions myself, others' emotions myself. Now, why do you do that? Right. So, is there something I can do? Yes. 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 So, Psychic Portals course at JVP School of Mystical Arts. Take that, please. Being an empathetic soul, a sensitive soul, it's a responsibility. You can't just go, oh, I'm sensitive. You gotta be aware of energy. You gotta be aware of your own energy. You gotta be aware of they call it running your energy, being aware of the cosmic energy, of the earth energy, integrating both of those and re-energizing yourself. And being aware of energy, when you become aware of your own energy to such a point, you then are very aware when the foreign energy comes into your space. You're very aware because you know your energy, you know your fields. So you know when someone else is not of that commonality. So the more you work on yourself, the better it gets as far as energetically. There can be no spiritual bypass. You can't just take a magic pill and it's done. You got to work at sensitizing, becoming aware of your own energy. Again, sitting in stillness is a great thing. Psychic Portal is a great course for that. And Tools for the Highly Sensitive is another one. I'd say take that first. Tools for the Highly Sensitive is best for that. That's a good one, just for this question that I made that course. So it's just being aware, and there are techniques in that course, Tools for the Highly Sensitive, that talk about that. And good luck, sweetheart. Cindy, looking forward to watching you and Kelly later tonight. Yeah, so for tonight, yes, we're going to do all about. This is a really interesting one. We're going to ley lines. Have you heard of ley lines? Magnetic forces that are all through the world. And Kelly has a very interesting insights into this, which she told me earlier. Which I'm like, okay, interesting. I have a different take on it, and we're going to discuss all ley lines. And I've been through some ley lines. I just came from Sedona too, which is interesting. We'll talk about that. But we'll talk about magnetic fields and ley lines throughout the world tonight. So should be very, very interesting. If you'll join us tonight at Both Sides Now and Beyond, that'll be here at 6:00 Pacific time, and check it out. It'll be very, very interesting. I'll do a couple more questions for you, guys. Diane, your mother around you. Yes, Diane, your mother is around you. Do you take time to listen to her? If you try too hard to get someone through, they'll block them. It puts a wall up. So let yourself, again, I say, take a stillness. And sometimes, like when you're driving the car or taking a shower, you're not thinking. So they have room to come in to yourself and your mind. So you're not forcing it, they can come in. Okay. Damien, want to meet you and Gordon next autumn in Ireland. Hey, great. Look forward to it. It'll be on our website. Thank you very much. Very good. Jeannie, are you doing any weekend workshops? And if so, any in New Seattle? Haven't planned it yet, Jeannie, but I will be working on a demonstration workshop that comes for people that have worked on doing demonstrations on stage, mediums who do demonstrations, want to perfect demonstrations. I'm going to be doing a workshop just on that. And there'll be others. Michelle Nelson, I had a dream that a ball of light came from above and handed me an envelope and said, "You're the chosen one." I called for her to help me, but she just kept going toward heaven. Well, it's a good one, Michelle. Yeah, dream journal. And if that you're a chosen one, what does that mean? So you've been chosen to do what? Handing an envelope. So there's something within that envelope. So you've got to do your life mission. So what feels right to you in your heart? What do you want to do? What's your passion? Again, what is your passion? And I'm not talking about money with this. I'm talking, what is your passion? Because I think if you do your passion, financial stuff comes in with it. But you got to open that vibration up. Good. That's a good one, Michelle. Again, journal is good because you'll have a history of it. I have one back in 20 years ago, and it was in Santa Barbara. Oh, it was more than that because before I did mediumship, and I said I made a list of 10 little things I wanted, and at that time I wanted to be a well-known writer, and I put that down there. And I said, and I don't know, I'm going to be before a lot of people performing. I think it's writing, but I know I'm going to help people, and I want to help people. I wrote that. It's interesting. So keep that journal. Very important for history. Michelle, I have two doggies, but sometimes I see something move on the ground around me, but my dogs are not there. Not sure if it's a spirit animal or my husband's dog who left as well. Probably another spirit dog. I'm sure it's probably a spirit dog. That happens to me a lot. I know it's Maisie or another dog I had, Boo Boo. I do see that. I see that a lot. It's funny enough, and not that they don't know the places to play, but when I go to the dog park, I'm aware of the spirit dogs running around too, which is very interesting. That I don't know. I think I do believe that spirit dogs will impress the physical dogs. I know that Maisie helped prepare Pearl. I know it because she told me about it before she came back. She was because Maisie would come to me all the time, and then once she didn't come to me for over a week, and I said, and then she did come to me. She was exhausted. She's like falling down, and I said, "What happened to you? Where were you?" She goes, and she sent me a thought about I was taking care of the puppies, and she was knocked out. And of course, that's how I feel now. I'm knocked out from taking care of the puppies. So I do believe that there is that's interesting one. I probably should ask Samantha Kerr about that, but I do feel it might be a possibility that spirit animals help those physical animals. Good question. Hi, Dawn. Within my mediumship, I can connect readily with my mother, but hard with other spirits. Why is this? Because you're not developed fully. That's why. And because your mom is your phone personal stuff, so that'll be easier for you. But if you can sit and develop it much more, it'd be much easier for you to reach other people. Okay. Okay, one more. Okay, Christy. Hi, Christy. My brother has been on his deathbed several times and won't let go of his body. He told me he saw dark orbs around him. I think he's afraid to die. What can I do to help? Oh, Christy, that's wow. Read The Quiet Mind to him by White Eagle. Great book. And I think if you read to him, he'll get accepted more because if it's coming from you, he might not take it. But anything, the White Eagle's simple, great truths in there. And Silver Birch is another one I'd read. But yeah, there's some great books about that, about life after death and transition. And feeling positivity again, memories of the past, things like that. This is just a meat suit. We're much freer than that. We're more than just a body. You just explain. You can do it. All right, everybody. Hope you'll join me tonight. We'll talk about ley lines. It's gonna be very interesting. So look forward to sharing that space with you and planning for next year. I'm gonna do that tomorrow as well, and we'll see about Thursdays. So God bless you, and see me on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye bye, everybody.